Past the ultimate test, they're heading to March Madness. We'll have reaction.
A collection of over 2 million fish are housed at the Scripps Institution of Oceanography.
Delivering the news of the week, Discovery Elementary's news team struts their stuff.
CBS 8 News live at 6 starts right now.
We begin tonight with the arrest of a man accused of going on a crime spree, stretching from Oceanside all the way to El Cajon. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
And I'm Anna Laurel, in tonight for Marcella Lee. The man is also suspected of diving through a window last week in Logan Heights. It was all caught on surveillance video. And as CBS 8's David Godfredson reports, his violent arrest was also caught on video.
El Cajon police officers had to use a taser gun to arrest James Alvarez on Tuesday of last week at a car dealership in El Cajon.
It took all four of them boys to get him to the ground and keep him there. Yeah, he wasn't happy.
Finance manager Blake Hitt says his employees called police shortly after the 34-year-old arrived at the lot in a Honda vehicle.
My first impression was he was a homeless guy or somebody in some sort of turmoil and frantic. That was the word I would use.
Hitt says the Honda that Alvarez was driving seemed like it belonged to a woman and appeared just a little bit too nice for him to be driving. As it turns out, the Honda had been carjacked earlier that day from a woman in San Diego, according to police. Then the manager noticed blood on the man's shirt and a police helicopter circling above.
Blood on the t-shirt, looks like he hadn't shaved in quite a few days. The mumbling, the hand, like everything was off about the guy, right?
Police now say Alvarez is responsible for a crime spree that began on March 10th in Oceanside, where he is charged with sexually assaulting a woman by force. Later that same night, he is accused of using his head to break a window and enter into an Airbnb house in Logan Heights, scaring the heck out of a German family that was staying there.
For Mr. Alvarez, who is not present in court due to medical.
Alvarez was supposed to be arraigned in court last week and again on Monday, but both times he refused to come out of his jail cell. Now he's been court-ordered to appear on Tuesday by force if necessary. He's currently charged with 9 felonies, including those sexual assaults, 2 carjackings, grand theft auto, hit and run, and vandalism. Police say more charges likely will be added. David Godfredson, CBS 8.
And tonight we're learning the adoptive mother and grandparents of an 11-year-old girl who prosecutors say was tortured, beaten, and murdered could be eligible for the death penalty. A hearing was held today for Letitia McCormack and her parents Adela and Stanley Tom. No cameras were allowed in court today. This is video from a previous court appearance. They all face hundreds of charges in the torture and murder of Arabella back in 2022. She was only 48 pounds when she died.
We believe that the murder was perpetrated during a torturous event, and that means that we can seek out life without the possibility of parole or potentially the death penalty.
The defendants are also accused of abusing Arabella's younger sisters. All 3 defendants are due back in court next month. Arabella's adoptive father, Brian McCormack, a Border Patrol agent, shot himself to death inside his truck just hours after deputies were called to the home.
Downtown El Cajon could soon look different. City leaders are moving forward with plans to revitalize the area around Main Street.
CBS 8's Alex Cheney is live in El Cajon with more on what he's learned about the project and what the city's mayor is saying about it. Alex.
Yeah, Carlo, just today, the city of El Cajon approved a plan for some revitalization that they hope is going to bring new businesses and shops to the downtown El Cajon area.
The city of El Cajon is announcing a major revitalization project to its downtown area. They're partnering up with New City America, the company behind the revitalization projects in Little Italy and Chula Vista, to lead the effort in El Cajon.
We really like what happened in Little Italy. They've also done the Chula Vista downtown and Glendale's downtown. So we've had a chance to go see them work in other markets, and we're pretty confident that they're going to be the right mix for for El Cajon.
There you go. A business owner on Main Street says he's excited for a revitalization project that he hopes will bring an uptick in daily foot traffic.
The more we could draw people down here on an everyday basis and not have to rely specifically on events is definitely going to help us all a lot more.
Residents say they want to see more life in downtown El Cajon.
It's an excellent idea, and it's about time. Well, because they need this place, they need that to vitalize and bring businesses to the area, just bring some life. We need that.
The city wants to bring in new restaurants, shops, and nightlife where friends can meet.
One of the things we have missing here in El Cajon is enough restaurants. So I think that that's been a big part of the revitalization of Little Italy and Chula Vista, and I think we're going to try to do the same thing, bring in more restaurants and more places for people to go have fun without having to leave the East County.
The downtown El Cajon business partners had a board meeting today in that they approved the contract with New City America. They're going to be paying them $150,000 a year for management services. The contract begins today and will run through March 31st of next year. There is also an allowance for the contract to be continued past next year. Reporting live in downtown El Cajon, I'm Alex Cheney, CBS 8.
The brackets are nearly set tonight, and we now know which college basketball teams are heading to the big dance.
Yeah, this year, 2 sets of San Diego teams are competing in the NCAA March Madness tournament, one of which is going for the very first time. CBS 8's Karthik Venkatraman joins us now with all the details.
UC San Diego men's and women's basketball, what can you say about them going to their first ever NCAA tournament at the Division I level after waiting out that period of time in which they had to move up from the Division II level? So very exciting time for them as they get things going, because the men and the women are the first 2 teams for a school in any program to make the NCAA tournament at the Division I level in their first year of postseason eligibility. Simply put, a very wonderful season for both of those. And UC San Diego men's basketball, a very trendy pick to be a Cinderella team as March Madness rolls around. A lot to love about this team. They really play defense. They really get at it with those 3-point shots, and they don't turn over the ball a whole lot. A 30-win season for this Tritons team, a regular season title to go with it, and a conference tournament championship. As a 12 seed against a 5 seed in Michigan, well, there's been a lot of upseeds in the 12 seed over the 5 seed, but head coach Eric Olin doesn't like that the cat is out of the bag for his team.
We like being the underdog and you know, kind of being the team that nobody knows about. And but these guys have just played so well all year that, you know, they've sort of made that difficult. And credit to our players and the season that they've had. And we're just excited to keep going. Just excited for our guys, like how much work they put in, how hard they play. You know, just really happy for them to have this moment and this reward at the end.
The women marched into March Madness, getting the automatic bid by winning their conference tournament as well. A team that didn't really start out the season probably as well as they wanted to, but boy, did they start feeling really good towards the end of the year. And well, to get to this point, they got it done. They start as a 16 seed in the NCAA tournament and take on another 16 seed in Southern First. The winner of that gets the top overall seed in UCLA, and the Tritons are ready to show off their skills.
I think our team is very excited. We've improved throughout the year, throughout the season, and we're excited to go to the NCAA tournament.
We do a really good job of handling adversity. I think we saw it a couple games out there in the tournament where we were down and we rallied back at the end, or we were up big, they came back, and then, you know, we came out with the win. So I think just sticking together, handling that adversity really puts us over the top.
Just such a great story at the NCAA tournament Division I level that both those teams made it into the tournament.
4 teams, too, with SDSU, and there seems to be a mutual admiration and support with all the programs.
Hayden Gray, who's a guard on UC San Diego, said, we're pulling for San Diego State as long as we don't have to play them. That could happen into the Elite Eight. But yes, all of these programs just so excited for each other that San Diego as a whole really representing at the NCAA tournament Division I level. Cool
Can't
stuff.
go wrong as a friend in San Diego right now. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Carly.
Well, CBS 8's Steve Price spoke with students from both universities today. He joins us live now with how they're feeling tonight. Steve?
Well, Anna, students here at UC San Diego are actually taking finals this week. So quite frankly, you could already feel there was a nervous energy on campus. Now throw in the fact that their basketball team is making it to March Madness for the first time ever. And I'll tell you, you can definitely feel this is not a typical week on campus.
And they will face, in Denver, UC San Diego, the Tritons.
Cheers at UCSD Sunday as they learn they're playing Michigan Thursday in the NCAA tournament.
It was so incredible.
Camille Brempong was there. In fact, she went to just about every home game this season and is fired up for March Madness.
This is our first year being eligible, and we got in, so it's like, I'm just so excited to see what happens.
Howell for K-Pitch.
It's their first year of being eligible because the team moved from Division II to Division I. And when you do that, you have to sit out of postseason play for 5 years. That ban ended this season.
March Madness. I mean, it's honestly just inspiring to see the school like get to the point where you see them with every other school like Duke. Like, it was just a fun feeling.
Manuel Cardenas says this is actually a really stressful time on campus. They're in finals, so the basketball excitement is a welcome distraction.
It actually kind of gave me a little more motivation to study for finals, just because my school was now being representative on a whole new level.
And look at this, San Diego State, they're going to face North Carolina.
San Diego State squeaked into the tournament as one of the last teams in, but on campus,
we're going to win it all.
students are excited to see their season extended.
It's the best. It's the best. I mean, yesterday we were both watching the TV show Selection Sunday. Like, we saw our name pop up. We started cheering, you know, like, you don't know what's going to happen, but, like, you're in and out. So, like, you're with all the 68 other teams, you know, you want to see some wins, you know, you want to see your team, like, play good and, like, support for San Diego.
And Davis has a bucket.
San Diego State is currently a 3.5-point underdog to North Carolina. UC San Diego is a 2.5-point underdog to Michigan. But a lot of national sportscasters are picking them to win, and students here don't disagree.
I think so too. Honestly, like, come on, we're Tritons. You know, we're the best out of best. So we'll see, but my hopes are high. Hopes high here at UC San Diego, hopes high over at San Diego State University. And as Karthik mentioned, both the UCSD and San Diego State women's teams also made it into March Madness. So I'll tell you, Carlo and Anna, a lot to be excited as we head into this year's basketball tournament. We'll send it back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Steve. Still ahead, what we're learning about the investigation into vandalism at a local Tesla dealership.
Plus, we take you inside Scripps Institution of Oceanography's vast collection of sea creatures and why it's so renowned.
But first, we'll show you how some of the destruction was left behind by deadly storms that hit the Midwest and South.
There's a storm system that's moving through the west. Now we're seeing some clouds starting to move in onshore, and that is going to set up for a chance we could see some spotty showers this evening. All those details are coming up.